Excuse me, Angela. Are you there?
Sure, what's up, Lydia? Everything okay?
I hear you're in the process of paying off some debts.
Huh? I'm what?
I was so disappointed you wouldn't believe. Tut tut tut, Angela. It's just a good thing we're neighbors, or I never would have heard you discussing it through the walls.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean you eavesdrop on us?
I heard you and Scott talking about it in the middle of the night. I had a cup to the wall, so trust me, I heard everything. $1,000 a month in debt repayments? No end in sight? Just how much debt are you in?
Oh, you heard that. These walls are thinner than I thought. A cup to the wall, though? Have you ever heard of privacy? It's quite a lot of money, but I think if we can keep up with the repayments at the current pace, it might be paid off within 4 or 5 years.
My goodness, you're in that much debt?
Yes, that much. Between all this secret investing and gambling and a complete failure to keep up with the payments back when they were smaller, it seems like this was inevitable. We are married, so of course we're committed to getting through this by working together. I hate to say it, but we're not always able to meet halfway. You have no idea how hard it is to keep up with $1,000 debt repayments every month all on your own. This has really taken its toll on us.
My oh my, Angela, just what have you been doing? As your mother-in-law, I simply cannot overlook this.
Yeah, I totally get that. I wouldn't expect you to overlook it either, but with how Scott's situation is right now, there might not be anything you can do.
I can't believe my son's own wife would place such a crushing burden on him. My poor boy must be going through hell.
Huh? What do you mean?
Basically, what you're saying is that my Scotty's being forced to pay off your debts with his hard-earned money? And $1,000 a month at that! It's hardly pocket change, is it? By the time it's paid off in 4 or 5 years, he'll be, what, $45,000? $60,000 out of pocket? How could you do this to him?
No, wait. You've got this the wrong way round. I'm not the one who's in debt. Scott is.
Oh, this is rich. You're going to try and pin the blame on my Scott because I found out about your little secret? I had no idea you were so shameless. That reminds me, your attitude last night while you were discussing the debt was absolutely atrocious. I could practically feel you looking down your nose at him through the wall. I heard everything. You do know you have debts to pay off, don't you? You need to pay it back, Scott. You have no choice. How dare you speak to my son like that when he's the one paying off your debts? You vindictive, self-righteous liar. He doesn't need to hear any of that from you. I'll have him divorce you, I tell you. Divorce!
You have no intention of listening to me, do you?
I could listen to everything you have to say 1,000,000 times over, and it still wouldn't pay off a cent of the debt.
Fair point. You know what? I've changed my mind. You're right. I don't think there's any point in talking to you when you're in emotional ignoramus mode.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
If you'll forgive me, I'm at work and we're very busy. Let's discuss this properly at a later date.
Don't make me laugh. I have nothing to discuss with an abusive, debt-ridden liar. One thing's for sure, though. My poor son needs protecting from you. He'll be staying next door with me from now on. He'll end up curled up in a ball in the corner of some psych ward if he's around you even a moment longer.
All right, fine by me. I'm going. Bye.
Angela, we're getting a divorce.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about, Scott? Are you still half asleep?
I'm not half asleep. I've had my coffee and my head is clearer than it's ever been. My eyes have opened. It seems like my mom found out about the debt. I was worried at first, but looks like she's actually gonna be able to help me get rid of it. She's lowering me the mother of all lifeboats.
Lifeboat?
She told me if I divorce you, all the debt will disappear and I'll never have to worry about money or repayments ever again. She was really convincing.
Huh, is that so? I see.
She must have a real lace up her sleeve. This is why my mom's great. She was always looking out for me. She's super clever too, so I believe her.
I have a feeling she doesn't have an ace up her sleeve at all.
If I'd known she'd be such a powerful ally, I would have just told her from the get-go instead of keeping it a secret this whole time. So, yep, it's decided. I don't need you anymore! The way you talk down to me like I'm some naughty little kid seriously grinds my gears. And I'm done with it! I'm gonna be free! Yippee! We're getting a divorce.
Good grief, you're beyond saving. I'm at work right now, so we can discuss this properly later. Scott? When I got home from work, there were some divorce papers on the table. Would you mind telling me what the heck is going on?
I think I made it pretty clear. We're getting a divorce. I had to go through the hassle of ordering the papers, so you can hand them in yourself. I'm busy.
I take it that means you have no interest in talking this through and saving our marriage then?
What's the point? You'd only talk down to me like some little kid, just like you always do. I'm mad as hell and I won't take it anymore. Besides, I have my mom. She's the only ally I need in my life. She always has my back and she's super smart, not like you. She said you're a liar too, which only strengthened my resolve. Hurry up and get out, liar!
Wow. You know what? I think it is actually better this way. Let's face it, I didn't exactly enjoy shelling out $1,000 a month to pay off your debts. I'm finally gonna be able to spend my own money again.
Fantastic, superb, tremendous, magnificent. We both get what we want. Win-win.
Good evening, Angela. I heard you finally did the right thing and agreed to the divorce.
If that's what he really wants, I'm not gonna get on my knees and beg. If we can't talk and work through problems as a team, what's the point in being married anyway?
I see you're just as arrogant as ever. How dare you take such a haughty attitude with me and my son, despite being in so much debt you owe $1,000 a month in repayments. You've got some nerve to look down on your husband when he's the one paying it off for you. You wouldn't have anything to eat or a roof over your head if not for him. Get your things together and go.
What? He's paying off my debt, feeding me, and putting a roof over my head? What planet are you on? You are aware I work every single day, aren't you?
Of course I'm aware, you pompous little upstart. However, there's no way whatever paltry wage you bring in with that pitiable part-time job could possibly sustain a family. Even a monkey could understand that Scott, who works at a major company, is the one holding everything together. He probably makes more in a day than you do in a week.
Ugh. I knew it. You have no idea Scott hasn't been going to work for the last year, do you?
Get with the times already. He's probably working remotely. I'm fully aware of how working life has changed over recent years. I might be old, but that doesn't make me ignorant. I don't have to confirm every little thing with my son to know what he's doing.
Interesting. I see. Your ignorance is actually impressive. You two are really alike.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Anyway, I'll be moving out tomorrow. I'm in the process of getting my things together right now, so you'll probably hear some banging in the night. I hope it doesn't bother you too much.
That's fine. It'll sound like a relaxing lullaby when I remember it's the sound of the odious witch who catapulted my son into financial ruin, finally removing herself from his life. Hurry up and get gone!
Okay, Scott, I'm all done packing. This is it. I'm leaving.
Vroom vroom! The big fire truck go vroom! Huh? Who did that? Oh, Angela! Alright, whatever.
I handed in the divorce papers last night, so me and you are strangers now. We'll never see each other again after today. This month's debt repayment is due tomorrow. Make sure you don't forget, okay? Don't come crying to me if you're struggling to keep up, because I won't be helping you anymore.
You're annoying. I'm sleepy. Just go away. Let me sleep, damn it.
Fine. Have it your way. Goodbye forever, Scott. Lydia, I'm leaving now.
Big creamy milkshakes. Zzz, pizza dipped in chocolate. Lard sandwiches. Cola. Zzz. Huh? What? Angela, I'm trying to sleep. Get lost. Message me later.
Whatever. Have a nice life. Goodbye.
Angela, pick up the phone! This is an emergency! I'll repeat, this is an emergency! We have to get married again immediately! I need you to keep helping me with the debt repayments!
Excuse me?
My mom got it wrong! Oh boy, did she get it wrong! She got it wrong, so I think my life might be over! I had no idea, but it seemed she was convinced the debt was yours. She had it in her head that I was the one shelling out $1,000 a month to cover your repayments. That's why she thought that if I divorced you, I wouldn't have to help you get out of the mountain of debt she thought you were in anymore, and I could finally attain financial freedom. That's why she told me to divorce you. Oh my God, I thought she had some kind of genius trick up her sleeve, but turns out she was just making a huge misunderstanding.
Yep. I knew that.
What?
I did my best to set her straight. I made it pretty clear that I wasn't in any debt, and that I was in fact the one helping you with your repayments, but it went in one ear and out the other. I did consider explaining to her how it seemed unfair for me to pay off your debts, given how you're the one who got yourself into this mess in the first place. But she was being so confrontational and aggressive, I didn't think there'd be any point. So the plan was to discuss it among the three of us once she calmed down. Then she told me you wanted a divorce, so I was like, meh, what's the point? Now I've completely washed my hands of you both, and wow, does it feel liberating. My financial burden disappeared overnight. I've had a giant Scott-shaped boulder lifted off my shoulders. Who would have thought that divorcee life could be so fun?
No way you didn't, did you? Did you hand in the divorce papers?
Yep, I handed them in the night you left them on the table. I did try and tell you, but I think you were dreaming about fire trucks or something. We're officially strangers now.
This is bad, 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 really bad!
Angela! I'm so sorry. I made a huge mistake. I'm sorry. Please come back immediately. I apologized. So you'll come back, won't you? Won't you?
What?
Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that Scott was the one in debt and not you? You had so many opportunities. And I had no idea it was my uncle who was originally covering the repayments.
That's because Scott chose not to tell you. I may have been your daughter-in-law, but it wasn't my place to tell you that kind of thing. That was your son's responsibility. I did at least make it very clear that the debt is Scott's and not mine. You're the one who kept interrupting and ignoring me whenever I tried to make you see sense, and you're the one who demanded we get a divorce based on your ridiculous misunderstanding. You're in no position to criticize me.
There's something else I can't get my head around. How on earth were you managing to keep up with $1,000 a month debt repayments working that crummy part-time job of yours in the first place? That's why I got the wrong end of the stick. You misled me.
I don't work part-time, and I never once told you I did.
Huh?
I inherited my dad's restaurant chain when he passed away a few years ago, and I've been managing all 10 of his restaurants ever since.
You own a company? You?
Yes, me. I own a company.
I thought you worked part-time flipping burgers at McDonald's.
That's fascinating because I don't. You're so good at misinterpreting reality, it's worrying.
So that's how you were able to keep up with those enormous debt repayments.
By the way, how to break this to you? You might want to sit down for this one, Lydia. Are you ready? Scott's unemployed.
What?
He got into a fight with his boss last year when he mistakenly arranged a meeting with a major client for the wrong day. He stormed out in a rage when he got taken to task on it. He had ample opportunity to apologize, but he was so stubborn he chose to get fired rather than admit fault. He's been unemployed ever since.
Did he at least get a severance payment?
He did, but it disappeared straight away when he used it towards paying off his debts. He'd only been at the company a few years, and it was his own fault he got fired, so it wasn't much. I couldn't bring myself to see him stop making payments because he'd have been swallowed up by the interest, so I decided to start covering them for him. It was only supposed to be temporary.
Really? I see. Okay, I understand everything now. I'm sorry for everything I've done, Angela. Will you carry on making the repayments for him?
Excuse me?
Listen, I just got a phone call from my uncle. He said today's payment is late. Apparently he got a threatening email from the repayment company. Please see to it that today's payment of $1,000 gets made as normal.
Are you aware that me and Scott aren't married anymore? You're both strangers to me now.
But...
The real irony here is that you're the one who got him to divorce me in the first place. It's time the pair of you learned how to stand on your own 2 feet for a change. I think this could be a great opportunity for you.
Angela, please, don't do this. I'm set to retire next year. These repayments would eat up my pension so fast I'd be homeless before I knew it. My husband passed away years ago. How in God's name am I supposed to support myself, my unemployed son, and run a household on top of these mammoth debt repayments all on my own?
Goodbye, Lydia.
Angela!
Since the repayments were set to suddenly stop, I thought I should call Lydia's uncle, who'd been the one covering them before me, and make him aware of the situation. He was astonished when he found out it was me who'd been making the repayments this whole time, and I was even more astonished when he apologized and paid me back the entire sum. After a few more apology messages, he swore to teach Scott the meaning of personal responsibility by having him pay off the debts he'd racked up if it was the last thing he did. Last I heard, he was forcing them both to work at his garbage disposal company to come up with the money. Apparently, a few of the senior employees are pretty mean-spirited and take great pleasure in seeing just how far they can push the two of them. They're being worked to exhaustion on a daily basis, which I was told about in detail when they spammed me with messages begging me to come back. Naturally, I blocked them both. Lydia's uncle ended up confiscating their phones because they were constantly playing games on them instead of working whenever no one was looking. I tried to be as sympathetic and compromising a wife as I could be. But their attitude towards me, which was revealed through a huge misunderstanding, quickly made me change my mind, and by the end, I was just as eager to divorce as my husband was, or thought he was. I'm so pleased I decided not to correct his delusional mom. Whatever happens to them, they're on their own from now on.